Ladies and gentlemen, this is your 5-minute warning before we begin the program. Please find your seats and silence your cell phones. Thank you. We will begin shortly. Students, families, faculty, Provost Tedder, and the President, we welcome you to the School of Nursing at Florida Southern College's White Coat Ceremony. My name is Dr. Jenny Florkey. You may recognize me because I'm awesome. This annual tradition recognizes the honor bestowed upon second-year nursing students to enter clinical practice in the School of Nursing. We are so pleased that you could share and celebrate this special event with us today. This ceremony first occurred through the Gold Foundation at Columbia University in 1993 as a symbol of the medical students beginning their careers. In 2014, recognizing the vital role nurses play in the healthcare team, the Gold Foundation partnered with the American Association of Colleges of Nursing to adopt a white coat ceremony for nursing. Today, there are over 360 schools of nursing who participate, and the number continues to grow. The white coat ceremony is an iconic ritual that emphasizes the foundational value of humanism as a critical juncture in the nurse's student education. That is, compassionate, collaborative, and scientifically excellent care from the very first day nursing students enter the clinical practice. This powerful emphasis on compassion, in combination with scientific excellence, is at the very core of exceptional nursing care. The most important element of the ceremony today is the nursing students' Compassionate Care Pledge. The students will take this oath in front of the school leadership, their professors, family members, and their peers to acknowledge their central obligation of caring for the patient. Students, the white coat you will receive today symbolizes your vow to provide comprehensive and compassionate patient-centered care. We, as your faculty, believe in your ability to be exceptional nurses, and we are so excited to stand along you in this journey. Again, welcome, and we hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Let's pray together. Dear God, thank you for this special ceremony honoring our future nurses. As we celebrate our students this evening, we ask that you would prepare their hearts and minds for the journey ahead. Grant them the wisdom to discern, empathy to understand, strength to endure, and kindness to uplift. Give them the ability to see the needs of others and to use their knowledge, gifts, and abilities to meet those needs. Remind them not to lose the humanity of the nursing practice, remembering that your people have been uniquely created. Give them the skill and ability to care for diverse populations, embracing differences and advocating for equity. Thank you for each student's friends and family present this evening. They have surely been a source of encouragement, support, and love throughout their nursing program. Thank you for the faculty and staff as they help to raise up the next generation of nurses. And finally, thank you for each future nurse in this room. Guide their hearts, hands, and words as they care for others and enable them to give hope and healing to those that they are called to serve. In your name we pray, amen.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Lali Joseph, and I'm the new Dean of the School of Nursing and Health Sciences, and I'm really thrilled to be here today to attend the first white coat ceremony at this school. Today, you're taking part in a ceremony that began in 1993 by Dr. Arnold Gold at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons through the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. This ceremony is a rite of passage for students ranging from medical and nursing school to physical and occupational therapy degree program, and elevates the value of humanism as the core of healthcare. So who was Arnold Gold? Why did he feel it was so essential to begin your clinical training with a ceremony? Dr. Gold was a professor at Columbia University for 58 years. He was a world-renowned pediatric neurologist with a giant heart. He loved his patients, his students, his residents, and his colleagues. In the 1990s, when technological advances allowed healthcare professionals to diagnose diseases in new and faster ways and to employ new treatments, Dr. Gold both celebrated the progress, but he became increasingly worried. He worried that the connection between patients and those who cared for them was fraying. It was being diminished, falling away. The human connection, the careful listening, paying attention to patients and their families, he believed remained essential, no matter how much technology could tell us. As a professor, he would watch students pledge an oath at graduation to compassionate patient care. But by then, Dr. Gold thought it was too late. So Dr. Gold, with the help of his colleagues, his wife, Sandra Gold, and the staff of Arnold P. Gold Foundation, started a new ceremony, the White Coat Ceremony. The White Coat Ceremony is an iconic ritual that emphasizes compassionate, collaborative, scientifically excellent care from the very first day of training in the healthcare profession. Dr. Arnold Gold led a long and vibrant life, and like many of you, he faced great challenges before he even entered medical school. His father died when Arnold was 13 years old, and his mother sent him from New York City to Texas to live with a relative. Even then, Arnold knew he wanted to be a doctor. The quotas for Jewish students at that time and the complications with his residency status led Arnold to a medical school in Switzerland. The instruction there was in French, a language he didn't know when he sailed from America to Europe. But he learned French, and he graduated at the top of his class. When he returned to America, Arnold did an internship in New Orleans at the height of the polio epidemic, when children with polio were in iron lungs in hospitals. And if the electricity went out, they had to crank the machines by hand to help the children breathe. These experiences and many others shaped Arnold, helped him to understand suffering and connect with his patients. Many such experiences are ahead of you too. Dr. Gold would say, listen to your patients, see them as human beings, pay attention to what they are telling you. Don't be afraid to care. The connections you make with your colleagues, your patients, and your patients' families are crucial for them and you. Dr. Gold died in January of 2018 at the age of 92. So in 2014, recognizing the vital role nurses play in the healthcare team, the Arnold P. Gold Foundation partnered with the American Association of Colleges of Nursing to adapt the ceremony for nursing. Today, more than 450 nursing schools have participated, and the number continues to grow, and now you are part of this tradition. The Gold community is made up of doctors, nurses, students, healthcare team members, corporate leaders, patients, and their families, who all support humanism in healthcare and who want a place to connect and advocate for a shared mission. Modern healthcare requires persistent and determined efforts to maintain the human connection. Humanistic care is not just kindness, but it is defined by compassion, collaboration, and scientific excellence. When skilled clinicians build caring, trusting, and collaborative relationship with patients, more appropriate medical decisions, better patient adherence with treatment plans, and less costly healthcare outcomes are seen. Today, by accepting a white coat, you are making a commitment to transform yourself into a healthcare professional with whom patients place their trust. The white coat is perceived as a symbol of purity, intelligence, clinical knowledge, competence, and integrity by patients and their families. It is a material symbol of the promise you make to every patient you encounter and to do your best to live up to their expectations. You will also receive the Gold Foundation Mobius pin today, so wear it with pride on your lab coat. So let me end my remarks with a quote by Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Thank you, and congratulations.
Good evening. I am Professor Tim Burns, and I have the honor of introducing our keynote speaker. Natalie Barton is an assistant nurse manager at Duke University Hospital in their Level 4 neonatal intensive care unit. Natalie is a board-certified neonatal critical care nurse, and in her role, she oversees staff members and serves as a charge nurse and preceptor. She utilizes her talent of photography in taking artistic portraiture of infants after they have passed. In her nursing career, she has been a recipient of the Daisy Award, the Dan S. Blaylock Community Service Award. Duke's NICU is a 74-bed unit and is ranked #1 in the state of North Carolina for the highest level of care to infants. Ms. Barton earned her bachelor's degree in nursing from Florida Southern College in 2019. During her time here, she was involved in Greek life, campus ministries, and the honors program. Natalie also served as student body president and was the recipient for the Honor Walk Award in 2019. Natalie was often seen on campus in her role as a Southern ambassador and resident advisor. Ms. Barton is passionate about global health and strives to improve health for all through her efforts in the developing world. She is a certified instructor for the Neonatal Resuscitation Program, teaching healthcare workers the clinical standard for resuscitating infants following birth and saving infants from preventable deaths. Last year, she spent 6 weeks in Nigeria instituting this curriculum and creating the first ICU for the hospital. Natalie has also served at a birth clinic in the Philippines and has even had the privilege of delivering 10 infants herself. When she was just 15, Natalie founded her own 501c3 nonprofit called Caring Caps, an organization that provides knitted caps to over 6,000 newborns in the developing world. After graduating college, Natalie served on the National Alumni Board of Directors for Florida Southern. She is also a published author in a peer-reviewed journal and presented as a podium speaker at a national neonatal nursing conference with research she conducted at FSC. Please join me in welcoming Natalie to the stage.
Thank you. I am so grateful to the faculty for selecting me to share a few words about nursing, and I hope that I can do this incredibly rewarding field justice. It's hard to describe the incredible nature of the nursing field. Many people objectively think our job is to bring healing to those who need it. But medicine is the diagnosis and treatment of the disease, while nursing is the diagnosis and treatment to the human response of the disease. Your future patients will not remember the doctor who prescribed the chemo that healed them, but they will remember the nurse who held their hand and talked them through the process. I fell in love with nursing at an early age. For me personally, it was always a calling and never a decision. In my young brain, in order to look like a nurse, I needed to actually have some scrubs. I'm not sure if you're aware, but it's pretty hard to find scrubs that fit a 6-year-old at the mall, so my mom hand-sewed me my own. Science was always my favorite subject in school, and in high school, I even had the incredible opportunity of presenting at the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, and I walked away with 2 scholarships. When it came time to apply for nursing school, I had my heart set on Florida Southern. If you know other students at other schools, You know that although right now you all are preparing for clinicals, they are preparing to apply for nursing school. This program will prepare you far better than any other could. Florida Southern gave me rich clinical experience, and I had the opportunity to intern in 2 different neonatal intensive care units by the time I had graduated. I also spent a summer in the Philippines, literally delivering babies all day and night. I got a job offer before graduation in my dream field at Duke University Hospital in their Level 4 NICU. Almost 5 years later, I have now done countless ECMO deployments, bedside surgeries, codes, and been to more deliveries than I can even count. I am a charge nurse that oversees a census of 70+ babies. I completed a presentation at Fiat Lux during my senior year and went on later to be published in the Journal of Neonatal Nursing for my research. I am an instructor for neonatal resuscitation courses for healthcare workers, and last year I spent 6 weeks in Western Africa empowering 80 midwives, nurses, and doctors to save the life of an infant. But as much as my accolades may seem impressive, I can tell you that this journey has never been one that I've made alone. I know today, as each of you cross the stage, many people will applaud you for all the work you have put into this endeavor. It is a huge milestone to earn a white coat and the benchmark to the start of a wonderful nursing career. But the true heroes today are not the ones sitting among the students, but rather in the audience. Many people have said that it takes a village to raise a child, and I would agree with that statement. I would like to take it a step further and say that it takes a village to raise a nurse. I want to take a moment to thank just some of the members of the village who have made us nurses. To the friends, thank you for being the emotional support necessary when you're sitting in tutus and you feel like you're on the edge of a mental breakdown. Friends are always the first patient for any assessment or technique you could ever dream of, whether they want to be or not. To the families, thank you for listening to our crazy stories from school, and if you think those are insane, just wait till the jaw-dropping clinical stories at the Thanksgiving table. Families pick up the phone when you are panicking late at night about the next exam and somehow always have the right words to talk you off the cliff. To the professors, thank you for continually challenging us and pushing us to be the best versions of ourselves. Even if I didn't always appreciate it, I can tell you without a doubt now, I see all the value of the work you poured into my life. To the peers, you may not realize it now, but your peers are the first incredible example you have of what it means to be a nursing team. Whether it's early morning clinical commutes or collaborating on study guides together, you all will lift each other up and remain a constant throughout the trials and triumphs of nursing school and beyond. And finally, to all the nurses in the room, thank you for being the role model I always needed. I looked up to each and every one of you when I doubted whether or not this calling was really worth the countless blood, sweat, and tears. Even when unsaid, each of you served as an inspiration to us and is a perfect example of what it means to be a nurse. As much as it may seem that my journey to becoming a nurse has been smooth sailing, there was a time I wasn't sure I would be here. In the spring semester of my senior year, I was busy getting all my ducks in a row for graduation. In February, I was working on large projects as student body president that have outlived my term and continue to be impactful today. In March, I interviewed at Duke and accepted an offer to work in their NICU. With so much change going on in my life, this seemed like a great time to start dating, so I started going on dates with another Florida Southern senior that I will soon call my husband. In April, I was putting the finishing touches on research I had been working on for several years that would later be published academically. And in May, I became a recipient for the Honor Walk Award. And the week after I accepted the Honor Walk Award, I failed the NCLEX predictor exam. If you don't know what this is, you will when they're a senior. The NCLEX predictor exam is an exam that all nursing seniors have to take just before graduation. Essentially, the exam does exactly what the name says. It predicts your ability to pass the NCLEX. These boards are imperative that you pass before graduation to ensure your success in obtaining licensure. and my inability to take this essential step towards becoming a nurse broke me. Today, as I stand here, I define myself by the wonderful successes I've had in my career. I define myself by the wonderful relationships I have been able to foster in my life. I define myself by the ways I show up for myself each time I accomplish a goal I thought was impossible. But then, I define myself by my inability to pass that exam. I saw my failed predictor exam results and looked around to all my peers passing scores and immediately let comparison get the best of me. We live in a world revolving around comparison. We compare our head-to-toe assessment grades, the number of followers on Instagram, even the points that you have left at the end of the week. Somehow we are always comparing ourselves to see how our worth measures up to those around us. We are living a life full of Photoshop apps, Instagram likes, weight loss numbers, even how much sleep we got last night, comparing each aspect of our lives with our neighbor, when instead we should be looking internally to see how we can be better, not how we can be better than our neighbor. You cannot let the fear of failure, or a fear of comparison, or a fear of judgment let you stop from doing what's going to make you great. And passing an exam is not what's going to make you a great nurse. It will make you a nurse, but it will not determine your greatness. Taking time to sit with your patients and talk them through a scary procedure is what will make you great. Your empathy, compassion, and your advocacy make you a great nurse. And I would argue that the best nurses in this room will not be the ones that passed every exam with flying colors and ease, but rather the students that struggled through and worked to be better every day. Your resiliency and humility will empower you to be greater and braver. For after all, you cannot succeed without the risk of failure. You cannot have a voice without the risk of criticism. And you cannot love without the risk of loss. You must go out and take these risks. Do what's uncomfortable and scary, but pays off in the long run. Be willing to fail and let yourself fail, but pick yourself up after. Because without this struggle, what is your success anyway? You do not have to be fearless, just do not let your fears stop you. I failed the predictor exam, and it felt like at time my fears had totally stopped me. I eventually retook the exam and later passed, but I still feared if I was capable of being a nurse. I still feared if I would even pass the NCLEX. My determination to be resilient carried me as I studied for countless hours, and I sat for my NCLEX boards, and I passed after completing just 75 questions. At that time, it felt like that score defined everything I was or ever would become. But now, after climbing through many promotions in nursing, I can tell you that I have no idea if the nurse working alongside me had to take the NCLEX 3 times before they passed or they passed on the first. I have no idea if the nurse who gave me report had to retake nursing classes and graduate late because nursing didn't come as naturally to them. Comparison feels so magnified in college, and I promise that it does get better. The real nursing world isn't marked by exam scores or lab practicals, but rather teamwork and critical thinking to preserve a precious life a little longer. My peers do not judge me, or at least I hope they don't, if I'm not able to get an IV on the first try, but rather we celebrate and thank the nurse who steps away from her patient to lend her skills to mine. If you are grateful for your life, then you have to be grateful for all of it. 5 years ago, I would never believe that I'm saying this, but I'm grateful today that I failed that predictor exam. I would not be the nurse I am today without the humility that that failure gave me. It was a gift to learn all the ways that comparison didn't matter. Just because I was one of the few people in my grade that didn't pass the exam did not define the value I held as a nurse. Since my first day at clinical, I have carried this in my scrub pocket. Some people will have no idea what this is, while some will immediately recognize it. Every nursing student has one, and it's our pocket companions as our clinical journal. Throughout my 4 years in nursing school, I have scribbled observations, medications, vital signs throughout the pages. In the back of the journal, however, I have a small picture of David, my brother in the NICU. Born too soon, David died after just 3 days of life and is the reason I became a nurse. David served as my inspiration to work in the NICU. Throughout my time working in a hospital, I would flip to this page after a patient had inevitably yelled at me, peed at me, or even kicked me. Even on shifts that seemed like they were never going to end and were testing my every limit, this small photo never ceased to stop humbling me and reminding me why I do what I do. Each of us has a David. Your David might be your aunt who was diagnosed with cancer a few years ago. Your David might be a friend who you saw through a major trauma and surgery. It could be your grandparents as you witnessed their health decline. Or your David might even be yourself when you were in and out of the hospital due to an injury. Whoever and whatever your David is, always hold on to them close. Nursing is such an easy field to become burnt out in and experience compassion fatigue. It's too easy for any difficult patient, manager, or provider to put us at our wits' end. But we must never forget the reason we are called to this humbling career. Whether it's figuratively or literally like mine, we must always keep our David in our pockets and remind ourselves during the impossible shifts. These people are the reasons that we have sacrificed these 4 years so that you can become healing nurses, and you must never forget that. In closing, I hope you remember the feeling of today, the nerves as you walk into your first day of clinical, the relief you feel when you take off those very attractive red scrubs at the end of the day, the pride when you ace your first pharmacology exam, the gratitude the first time a patient thanks you. For it may feel like it will take years to get where I am today, but for me, all it feels like I did was blink. Never let your failures stop you from reaching for greatness, and always remember the reason you started this journey to nursing. Congratulations to the nursing class of 2026, and thank you to David.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tracy McGee, and my job is to talk to you about the new Gold Foundation pin. Along with the white coat this year, for the first time, you will receive the Gold Foundation pin. This pin features a Mobius loop that symbolizes the continuous bond of trust, respect, and communication that connects all healthcare professionals. This pin, along with your white coat, is a material symbol of caring. It represents the 6 C's of caring that guide the Anne Blanton Edwards School of Nursing, which includes commitment, competency, confidence, conscience, comportment, and compassion. So wear your pin with pride. To the students, congratulations and welcome to the nursing family.
And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. We will begin the distributions of the white coats. First row of students, please stand. Jasmine Adames. Heidi Alf. Alexa Anastasis. Madison Averno. Zara Barinwala. Crystal Benitez. Sadie Campbell. Sophia Carlson. Stacy Childs. Stephen Christmas. Jessica Christopher. Alexandra Colston. Haley Dadich. Henry Elliott. Deborah Emilian. Camilla Figueroa Maldonado. Liliana Forney. Alexandra Foster. Emily Goings. Eleanor Herman. Skylar Hester. Rachel Hockenberry. Braden Hopkins. Malaika Ijewere. Zoe Janahakis. Margaret Kalbaugh. Olivia Carrick. Yulia Korolieva. Macy Longenecker. Ana E. Lopez. Sierra Love. Haley Madden. Ashley Matuzak. Sheridan Maxwell. Haley McFarlane. Elise McIntyre. Madeline McLean. Zella McMahon. Meredith McRae. Allison Michaels. Danielle Moget. Joelle Morales. Sarah Mubark. Chris Nguyen. Emily Northup. Abigail Perry. Anika Pedum. Kate Peterson. Jonathan Pham. Noah Rader. Dalen Risher Roble. Gabriella Rossi. Mia Rosso. Margarita Ruiz. Christian Russo. Grace Saunders. Anshita Sayani. Ellie Sales. Devin Schumacher. Ever Scott. Trinity Shipe. Bellamy Standifer. Jaden Stanley. Zoe Stanton. Mackenzie Steele. Mally Steinel. William Warren Stevens. Katie Swanson. Gwendolyn Thompson. McKenna Timmons. Brooke Triani. Callie Turner. Jessica Urban. Tiffany Wiegand. Lauren Humans. Let's give our nursing students another really big round of applause.
Gotta lower the speaker. So proud of you guys. Yay. This is my third lecture today, so for real. My name is Dr. Sue Ann Mahoney. I am honored to lead the Compassion Care Pledge. I was already at that pledge, okay. At this time, I would ask the nursing students and any nurses that would like to stand and do the oath. You're welcome to read along. You should have this in your, okay, you have it. In your program. Deep breath. We always do this in class too. Okay. As a nurse dedicated to providing the highest quality care and services, I solemnly pledge that I will consider the welfare of humanity and the relief of suffering my primary concerns, act in a compassionate and trustworthy manner in all aspects of my care, apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for my patients, exercise sound professional judgment while abiding by legal and ethical requirements, accept the lifelong obligation to improve my professional knowledge and competence, promote, advocate for, and strive to protect my professional knowledge and competence, protect the health, safety, and rights of the patient. With this pledge, I accept the duties and responsibilities that embody the nursing profession. I think you guys led me. And now for our senior speaker.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, fellow nursing students, and our distinguished guests, good evening, and thank you for gathering here today as we celebrate a pivotal moment in the journey of these talented sophomore nursing students about to embark on their clinical rotations. My name is Tyler Melke, and it is an honor to stand before you today as a senior nursing student, and I am grateful for the opportunity to share a few words of encouragement and wisdom with our future caregivers. First and foremost, to our sophomore colleagues, congratulations on reaching this significant milestone, the White Coat Ceremony. This event marks the beginning of your transition from the classroom to the clinical setting, a transformation that embodies the essence of our noble profession. And as you don these white coats today, know that they symbolize not just a uniform, but a commitment to excellence, compassion, and unwavering dedication to the well-being of your future patients. I vividly remember the mix of excitement and anxiety I felt when I sat where you are today. It feels like yesterday when I was wearing a white coat that was just a little too big for me, thinking, what have I gotten myself into? The world of healthcare is complex, and the clinical environment can be both thrilling and challenging. I want to share a few lessons I've learned along the way and hope that they will serve as a guiding light on your journey. Embrace every experience. You will encounter a vast array of patients, each with their unique stories and need. Embrace every experience, whether it's holding a patient's hand during a difficult moment or witnessing the miracle of recovery. Each interaction, each shift will teach you something invaluable. Learn continuously. Nursing is a field that demands lifelong learning. Stay curious, ask questions, seek out knowledge, and never stop growing. Remember, knowledge is your most potent tool to provide the best care. Compassion is key. Beyond clinical skills, it's the compassion you show that truly sets you apart as a nurse. Treat every patient with the kindness and respect they deserve, regardless of their circumstances. Resilience will be your strength. Nursing can be physically and emotionally demanding. There will be days when you question your choice in these moments, and remember your why. Draw strength from the impact you have on people's lives. Remember the days when a nurse asked you to hold a baby born prematurely who has not stopped crying all night. You sit down in the rocking chair, and as she places the purest form of life in your arms, they stop crying. They look up and give you that big gummy smile and grab your finger, and in that moment, all of your fears, all of your doubts, and all of your anxieties melt away. Finally, the brilliant faculty who sit before you today are full of invaluable expertise, knowledge, and experiences. They have taught me more than I ever thought was possible. I look up to each one of them in hopes that I can be half as talented as they are. Thank you for not only showing us what it means to be compassionate nurses, but more importantly, being examples of what it means to be a genuine person. Future nurses, as you step into your clinical rotations, know that you carry the hopes and trusts of your patients and the legacy of countless nurses who have walked this path before you. Cherish the moments, learn from every experience, and never underestimate the transformative skills you possess. Congratulations, and I have every confidence that you'll make us proud. Welcome to the wonderful world of nursing. Thank you.
Okay. Well, good evening. My name is Dr. Skelly, and as this white coat ceremony comes to a close, on behalf of the nursing faculty, I'd like to thank our two speakers, Ms. Natalie Barton, Mr. Tyler Milkey, for sharing their words of wisdom with our sophomore students. We would also like to thank all the faculty and staff for their hard work in preparing the students to enter the clinical portion of their program, as well as coordinating tonight's ceremony. We would like to thank all the family and friends of our students for coming this evening to share this special milestone with them. Your support to the students is crucial to their success. We would also like to thank President Kerr, Provost Tedler, Dean Joseph, and Dr. Hall for their continuous support of the BSN program, faculty, staff, and students. And finally, we would like to wish you, the students, the best of luck as you move forward. This is an exciting part of your nursing journey, and we are all here to support and celebrate you. We do ask that you please remain seated until the students exit, and the ceremony is now complete.